Welcome back, friends. In this episode, my goal is to share with you the Profit First method that utterly changed how I approach all my financials, personal and in business. So in 2017, I was struggling to basically maintain and manage my financial structure. I had several employees, a vast business, lots of operational expenses, and I was trying to figure out why my money wasn't enough for the bills at the end of the month. I knew we were making a lot of income. However, where was it being distributed? I kept struggling with this issue, trying to figure out how to actually manage money. And I kept seeking things out. And I listened to a podcast for print shops. And this guy came on, he was talking about this Profit First method. And it seemed pretty easy to implement. It seemed like an easy way for me to really visualize where my money is going, where it's coming, as opposed to just looking at profit and loss sheets or a balance sheet at the end of the week or the month. I wanted to see, like, instantly, if I wanted to look at my phone, basically look at my money and see where it is and what I can and can't spend. I reached out to the guy actually on LinkedIn, and he suggested that I read the book, The Profit First. It's amazing. You can check it out here, and I linked it out in the description. Profit First, I listened to it and then I read the book. So this book utterly changed my financial system and how I approach everything I do when it comes to money. So what you do essentially is you implement bank accounts, different reserves. Now, why didn't I think of that? Also, somebody should have taught me this a long time ago, but perhaps you were already taught a financial system. Perhaps you were taught by your father, your mother, or someone you know on how to manage your money. I unfortunately was not. I was sort of told that, when you make some money, you save some. And those two things are obviously churning into checking accounts and savings account. However, by the end of the month, do you really put money into your savings? Or are you sometimes like, okay, well, I'm going to spend with my credit card, and then I'm going to use my savings money to pay off the credit card, or however it is. That system didn't really work for me.
I said I would, but the way my bank account is set up, the thing is, I got a checking in the savings, but all the money is in my savings. So I got to switch it to my checking, but it's going to take 3 business days.
Instead of having one bucket, you have multiple buckets of reservoirs, right? So that when your money comes in, it gets distributed amongst these reservoirs. Now, this is a very old school method. Grandmas, grandpas, people back in the day, and probably people still today, split their monies up in envelopes. And one envelope would say rent or spending money or debt or taxes. And that's exactly what we're doing here. But in modern day world, we're doing that in our bank account. And so when I started that system, I read the book, I implemented the system. I went to the bank and I told them I want these 7 bank accounts. And one was for debt, one was for my income, one was for my operations expense, one was for taxes, debt, emergency savings. And so, these bank accounts, you can label them what you want and how you want for your business and whatever makes sense. I had one for payroll as well. And so the income that I would get, every time I would get some income, I would go into the bank account and move that money around, distribute it, depending on the percentages that I had set. Now, again, you got to read the book. It's an amazing read. But also he talks about, the percentages, the increments of how much you should put into those bank accounts. And obviously it depends on the type of business you have or the type of personal lifestyle that you have and how much you want in each account on a regular basis. And so the idea is to incrementally build these reservoirs up so that when time comes to go make a purchase or pay taxes or anything like that, you already have that reservoir. It's full of that money so that you can use it wisely and use it appropriately. As opposed to when I used to not do this, I would look at my bank account and say, okay, I have $5,000. I can make that $2,000 purchase. But that's not actually true because you technically have, $1,500 to spend, because of everything else you have to pay out, right? When it comes to payroll and everything else, taxes and so on. And so this idea really helped me break down where my money goes, where it lives, in what bank account, and it's amazing. So recently, when I started Rise Media LLC this year, I wanted to ensure that the bank account that I use really helps me out and I wanted to completely shift from my old bank to my new one. And this bank is called Novo. And this bank system literally operates from the profit first method, which is awesome. So it already has built-in reservoirs, and all you have to do is go in and label them. It's super easy to use. It's amazing. I linked it below if you want to check it out and sign up. It's completely free. Everything is online. It's so user-friendly. It's beautifully designed, and you get a card in the mail. You can use it. You can use it just like any other bank account. But what it does is that it helps you organize your money in a way that's actually very helpful, and it's all visual. Your operations, your debt, your expenses, all those good things. So I highly recommend developing a system where you can separate that dollar out and realize that every dollar you earn isn't necessarily all income, that most of it, some of it will go to operations, taxes, debt, whatever it is that you have. And then you be sure to have some profit for you, right? So the idea of this whole profit first system is to pay yourself. Now I'm able to put the money where it needs to be. And again, I've learned somewhere that, it's not just about how much money you earn, but how much of it you actually keep or invest or can keep track of. And so, doing this system has helped me tremendously. And now you may be using something that totally works for you. But if you don't, and you still are stuck in the checking and savings system, right? So the idea is that you're shrinking the amount of money in each reservoir to a degree so that you don't overspend that money. It's an amazing system. Like I said, it's a great book. Check it out. Profit First. It's in the description. Mike does an amazing job of really laying out this incredible system. And I think it's one of the first books that I took action almost immediately because I knew what the outcome would be. And so I highly recommend, developing a system that works for you in your creative business that can really help you. And if you want a bank account to look at this and that can formulate it for you, it's super easy to use. Go check out novo.com. That's also linked below in the description. I promise you it will, change your entire financial direction, and it will improve how you manage your money. Start there, and then you can evolve from there. All right, so I hope this video was of value to you and how you manage your money and your financials. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. Comment below, let me know if you're gonna use the Profit First system, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Other than that, I gotta get back to work. You guys take care, peace.